In this week's portion, the Torah describes a strange malady, a strange disease called tzarat, often translated as leprosy. And although it was a physical disease, it had physical symptoms, but it was brought about by spiritual crimes, speaking lashon hara, gossip and slander, arrogance, and a number of other sins. And it would present as a skin disease. A person would see suddenly on his skin, perhaps on his hand, on his legs, even on his hair or his beard, a blotch, a white blotch, which had a white hair in it. And the only person who could diagnose this and pronounce it to be tzarat was a kohen. You had to go to a kohen, not to a doctor. You showed it to the kohen, he would look at it, he would measure it. Sometimes he would have to quarantine the person, and then he would say, either you have tzarat or you don't have tzarat. And if a person had tzarat, and they had full-blown tzarat, they had to be quarantined. They had to be put out of the city for the amount of time it took for that disease to go away. They were entirely isolated from society. The Talmud discusses the following case. What happened if a groom, a person who was about to be married, suddenly saw one of these splotches on his body? Now, if he would go to the Kohen, and the Kohen would say, you know, you've got tzarat. As soon as the Kohen says you've got tzarat, he immediately has to be isolated. He has to go outside of the city. It could take a week, it could take 2 weeks, maybe it could take longer. He's going to miss the wedding. He's going to miss all of the festivities. What is he going to do? The same thing. If a person suddenly sees tzarat immediately before a festival like Pesach or Sukkot, which are long, 7 days, 8 days, what is they going to do? If they now turn out to have this disease, they're going to have to be isolated. Not because it's a catchy disease, but because that's the law. As soon as the Kohen pronounces them impure, they have to leave the camp. So the Talmud tells us that if such a person, a groom, or a person just before a festival goes to the Kohen and says, I seem to have tzarat, the Kohen says, not interested. Don't come and speak to me now. Go and get married. Go and enjoy the festival and come to me afterwards. Well, that's very, very strange. The person has symptoms of the disease. The Kohen should speak to him. What does it matter what's going on in his life? And the answer, of course, is it does matter what's going on in his life. Because when it comes to Jewish law, we don't just answer the question, but we answer the person. This is so important. This is something that many Jews can't understand. A person goes to a rabbi and they have a certain issue. They discuss it out with the rabbi, and the rabbi gives them one answer. Another person comes to the rabbi and he has almost an identical issue, and he discusses it with the rabbi, and the rabbi gives him another answer. Completely the opposite. What's going on? How can you answer the same question in precisely opposite ways? But the thing is, it may be the same type of question, but you're dealing with different people. Maybe that person is a poorer person, so therefore we have to look for more alternatives. We have to be more lenient. Maybe the other person is a wealthier person. Maybe the one person has emotional problems, and maybe the other person is more stable. You always have to answer the person and not just the question. We have to look at human beings as entire human beings. Kol ha'adam. In fact, in Pirkei Avot, we are told in the first chapter something very beautiful. Veheve dan et kol ha'adam lekaf zchut. You must judge the entire person. You must judge all people and give them the benefit of the doubt. Now, the wording is a bit strange. Veheve dan et kol ha'adam. You must judge every person. But literally translated is Veheve dan et kol ha'adam. Judge the entire person. Give them the benefit of the doubt. That means when you see somebody doing something which may look a little bit wrong, don't just look at the action. Look at the kol ha'adam. Look at the entire person. What is going on in their life? What pressures are they under? And maybe, perhaps, if you would be in a similar situation, you would have done something similar, and therefore give them the benefit of the doubt. Jewish law is not just about being black and white, it's gray. And therefore we have to look not just at the question, but at the person. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.